Hello, and welcome to another episode of Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. Rustic Spirit. Oh my goodness, I'm so freaking tired tonight. My voice might be going in and out. So let's light some sage and get started. We have a really cool show tonight. I'm very excited to meet our guest. I've never met him in person, but I'm very excited to meet our guest tonight. And we're going to have some fun. He might even do some readings. So we will see what's happening. We have Sadie in the comments. Hi, Sadie. I'm glad you joined us. Thanks for being here. And before we get started and bring our guest on, we're going to do our housework. No, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. So you can find us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live on Thursday nights at 8:30. And then you can go back on YouTube and view all of the past episodes in video. The audio you can find on Spotify. See, this is my voice tonight. Spotify and iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. I think those are the three places that you can find us. Housekeeping, housework. You know what's on my mind? Like I'm a mother and a parent. I have housework all the time. Brian is here. Hi, Brian. Brian is a past guest of ours. It's nice to see you. I haven't seen you in the Facebook world in a while. So I don't know if I'm just not seeing your post or if you've been taking a step back. And Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Hi, love you. Tomorrow we are going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings together and have some dinner. I'm excited about that. And then Shauna is here. Oh, and look who is here. Santiago. Hiya. Oh my God. I watched his podcast. He goes on during the day. He is a strong mental health advocate. He is also a horror actor, and he is from he was been in The Walking Dead. He was also a past guest. The Walking Dead. He is an amazing person. I just love him. His energy, he is coming to our event at the Doss House, at Shauna's event at the Doss House. And I cannot wait till he walks in there and does his hiya to that Doss House and see what just comes from that. I just cannot wait for that investigation and that event. It's his energy. I can't even his energy is amazing, and it changes the room. He can come into a room and change the energy in the entire room. He tries to steal my husband, but I will forgive him for that because of his wonderful energy. Again, back to that. We're live on Thursdays, and these are the places you can find us. So let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. One is myself. This is Introducing Spirit Flames by the Rustic Spirit. It's a 100% soy-based candle. We are hard at work making a whole bunch of new candles for our spring launch. I do have the ones you see here. I do have some available if you're interested. Please just message me, or you can go to therusticspirit.com to order the ones that we do have left. And our brand new sponsor, this is the Snarly Yowl, historically cryptid, West Virginia, snarlyyowl.com. He has, if you saw in the video, they have some events coming up. It is the Snarly Yowl Cryptids and Curiosities. It's April 12th. And then halfway to Halloween on, I can't look at that date because I don't have my glasses on and I didn't remember it, but halfway to Halloween. And then on August 23rd, their huge event, Rats and Reapers. It's just a huge event. They have a car show. The hearse will be there. I know Jeff's Traveling Boards is going to be there. He is also one of our sponsors. August 23rd. I thought August 23rd that's the Rats and Reapers. What is the halfway to Halloween? Maybe the date isn't up there. I'm going to have to fix that. So Dave, if you're watching, I am sorry. I will fix this event. Like I said, brand new sponsor, just signed on today, and I was rushing to get these graphics ready for him, and I might have messed up. But you can find everything out at snarlyyowl.com. And while you're at it, let's go. Why don't you do some research on what the Snarly Yowl is? It is a cryptid creature of West Virginia, and just go. I'm not even going to say anything. Just go and check it out. And do a little research on what that cryptid creature is. So our next sponsor is the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con on September 6th, 2025, 6th and 7th in Augusta, Maine at the Augusta Civic Center. Our guest is actually going to be one of the special guests there. I believe he's doing and I'll bring him on and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's doing a gallery reading. I'm not quite sure. I think he's doing something. Our guest tonight is part of this event, and it's going to be amazing. You can get your tickets at mainparahara.com, and they have general admission tickets for $25. They have a weekend pass for $40. They have a VIP ticket weekend pass for $60. I need to make my screen bigger so I can see what this is. There we go. Now I can see it. And then a VIP weekend pass with a dinner party, and you don't want to miss the dinner party, for $120. And then Patty Negri is doing a mediumship gallery for $35. The VIP dinner party is 18 plus. ID is required. Children 8 and under and the event are entirely free with a paid adult. So that is going to be a great event. Our last sponsor is the Doss House by Unique Paranormal. It's a cozy place to investigate this winter. They are actually doing a special, and I still have the comment up there. I don't know how to take it away. They are actually doing a special for St. Patty's Day. This is on March 16th to the 17th. It's a huge discounted rate. Please personal message them. It's 1 to 6 guests, 170 for 12 hours. So please message them, message Unique Paranormal. You can message Shauna that's in the chat. And you can message the Doss House. Go check that out. That is a like limited opportunity event. Like, guys, grab up on this. Doss House is amazing. You need to go check it out. When we do our break, in like halfway through the show, I'm going to show you the video of the Doss House. It's amazing. They're also doing this coming up weekend. The Blue Bodie is going to be at the Doss House, and she's doing a whole experience there. You can get an exclusive VIP live stream tickets available. If you can't make it and like you want to see that paranormal action that she attracts, like, she is amazing. If you have not followed her, please go follow her on TikTok, and I think she's on Facebook, Instagram, but I think TikTok is her main platform. Please go over and follow her, but it takes place at 6 p.m. until she departs the premises. This is not an overnight investigative event. It is just while she is there. It's going to be amazing to see her energy and the Doss House energy. I'm looking forward to that. They are also doing a Creep It Real festival at the Doss House. Wow, I feel like there's a lot of sponsor stuff today. On June 21st, 2025, and they are still looking for vendors. It's in Loretto, PA. They have nailed down their food vendors, so we are good with that. Please send applications to the Doss House 278 at gmail.com, or send an email to them to get an application, to get your application for the event. So let's welcome tonight's guest, psychic medium Christopher. He is writing a book. And I don't want to introduce him too much because I want him to introduce himself, but I know he's writing a book. He does a lot of different events up north. I am very excited to actually meet him in person at the Maine Paracon. And without further ado, and as I get my screen ready, I'm going to bring him on stage. Maybe. There he is. Hi, Christopher. Do you go by Christopher or do you like Chris? Like,
Chris is good.
Okay. I am very much a formal name person, so I will probably call you Christopher.
That's okay. Yeah, either way. I'm cool with either one. Chris or Christopher, it doesn't matter.
So welcome. Thank you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you here. Jenny Davis says hi. And Ashley, there you go.
Hey,
there's Ashley. She's saying, hey, y'all, my event. Ashley is one of the creators of the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con.
Awesome.
She keeps everything in check.
Yes.
Because Jeff is a little, his ducks are a little crazy, should I say.
I love Jeff, though. He's a great guy. But yeah, his ducks tend to waddle.
Well, I don't know if you know, you're not part of the group chat, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, we have a group chat when this first started, and we were like, okay, so we're gonna like, I really don't have much to do with it, but I'm their friends and I've been supporting them from day one. Sure. And Jeff's always been like bouncing ideas off of me. I'm more of the idea bouncer. And so we started this, he started just getting crazy, like with, I want this. And then I got crazy too, because I'm like, let's get Stephen King.
That's awesome.
So and then so Ashley was like, finally I was like, whoa, he's even a little more than I am, and trying to like sign on like the mummy people and stuff like that. And so Ashley created a group chat called Crack Ducks Paracon.
Crack Ducks. That's awesome.
maybe Christopher should be in our group chat. So
yeah, that'd be great.
It would be awesome. But anyway, can you introduce yourself? Just tell us a little about yourself to the people out there.
All right. On Facebook land, yeah. So I am a psychic medium. I've been doing it for about 8 years now, 8 or 9 years, give or take. I started off doing it because I lived in a haunted house, and that house just really kind of triggered me into knowing and believing in the afterlife and the spirit world and the paranormal and all that. But it was years later when I met a friend of mine named Adam Began, and he kind of like, he helped me along and got me into a paranormal group, and him and I went to a place that kind of like, I don't know, I just started getting like messages from the spirit world at this place. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was all, can I swear? Is that okay?
Yeah, you're perfectly fine. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought like the things I was getting was all horse shit. I was like, this can't be real. You know what I mean? Like, but I sure enough,
you thought it was your own mind, and you might have been going a little crazy. I'm like, I'm having psychosis. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was just using my imagination. I was in the attic of a very haunted place. Like, of course I'm going to think whatever, and what I thought and what was there was a young boy's spirit, and he was playing games with me. He wanted to play hide and seek or whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. So I went home and I YouTubed the same spot. And sure enough, there was a medium that was on a team that went to the same spot I was standing. And she said, there's a young boy spirit here and he wants to play games. And I was just like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's what I felt. And then so I just started researching it and going down this rabbit hole. And I have not stopped since. And it's been a wild ride, and I've loved every minute of it.
I know the feeling. I don't. What can you disclose that location, or is that something or is it just like a place that you're not really sure? Like nobody.
No, it was called the Parsons Field Seminary, right in Maine.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't there an episode on that where a psychic went in there and was talking about that? Like maybe I saw it on YouTube or something. I watch a lot of my paranormal stuff on YouTube. But
yeah, I know there's a lot of YouTube videos of people going to that place because it's very well known. Okay. It's very, very haunted for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there. I haven't actually never been to Maine.
Really?
So I'm excited to get up there.
So, you got to come up here. It's fun.
Here's my dream. I've never been to Maine, but all my life I've wanted to move to Maine. My entire life. I have always told people I want to live in Maine. I want to live in Maine. I don't know why. I just want to live in Maine. So I'm really excited. Like when I get up there, what's going to happen? Because like, there's a reason why I've been called to Maine my entire life.
Right. Just something that
it might just be the forest.
It could be the forest. We have good forests.
Or it might be Stephen King.
Yeah. Right. You have to come to Bangor.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love Stephen King.
Hang out in some kind of coffee shop somewhere, and hopefully he shows up, because I hear he does like pop up, like
jump up and scare the shit out of him and be like, "It's you!"
Like I would totally fangirl. I would be
so would I.
Like scouring like coffee shops, looking like, did he pop up today?
Yeah, is he here? Is he around the corner? Where is he?
Is he here?
Yeah.
But yes, so your first. You said you grew up in a haunted house.
I did, yeah, for sure.
So did you feel like you had abilities then? Or was this something that came as you got older and kind of you came into yourself and more believing of yourself?
So I definitely came into it later on, but I would always like say back then, like, I feel like I could tell when there's a ghost around. I don't know. I just was like, I don't know. I could feel it in my chest. It was almost like, or my solar plexus almost. It was like a vibration that wouldn't let up. And I'd be like, there's something unnatural here, or some energy that I can't see with my physical eyes, And so that was always there, but I never knew what like psychic or mediumship was, because like we never had words for it. Like my mom wasn't into mediums or psychics or anything. I mean, she would like randomly, she'd be like, oh, your Aunt Sandra's going to call. And then sure enough, my Aunt Sandra would call and she'd be like, oh, what a coincidence, what a funny coincidence. And it's like, well, knowing what I know now and the frequency of that sort of thing, like it was probably her being more psychic, and just not knowing it. Same thing with me. I mean, I've had instances where that's why I called the book I Fucking Knew It, because like I'd have incidences where I'd say like, I fucking knew I shouldn't have done that. Why? Or, or like, oh, I
love that.
I should have done that.
I think that's when I like totally like fell in love with you, was like, oh my God, the title of the book, I like that just, it screams my energy. So I'm like, but Ashley here says you have helped her understand that she's not just crazy.
That's awesome.
Actually, you are a little crazy, but that's okay. But that's no, cool. Not crazy in that sense. Yeah. And so I'm glad that you're working with her and helping her, and she has someone, because she does have some gifts. She Absolutely. Really does. She's helped me a lot. I have to say, I've been going through, in the past couple months, I've been going through some crap, and there's been 3 people that have been at my back, and Ashley is one of them. Actually, all 3 of them in the chat tonight. So awesome. They have helped me through that, and so I'm glad that Ashley has someone like you, because obviously Jeff is a wonderful person, love him to death, but when it comes to like more of that psychic stuff, doesn't quite understand some of it. I remember I gave him his first Reiki session, and like he freaked out. Like he loved it. Like he's like, oh my God, what was that?
Yeah. Reiki is very intense. It can be very intense for sure.
It can. I see that you are also attuned to Reiki. Are you a Reiki master? Like what level are you? Like how did that come about, being attuned to Reiki?
Honestly, like that was just part of me digging into the whole metaphysical world, like I'm also a reverend of spiritualism, but I don't necessarily announce that or put that on anything, but I am that. But I think the reason why I did that was because I really enjoyed the fact that spiritualism embraces and kind of talks about mediumship in their beliefs. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not the kind of go to church kind of reverend. I'm the kind of like go out in nature and look at the sun and just soak up the rays, and that's where you'll find your higher power. I mean, that's just me personally. But so
I think, wouldn't that be called a shaman?
Maybe I'm switching gears a little bit in my older age.
Yeah, it wasn't until, and my shaman is in here right now. Like he says to me, he's like, you're a shaman. You're doing shamanic practices. You can say it's shamanic practitioner. So I'm working with a shaman right now. Like, and awesome. I hate you, but not you. Yeah. It's been a tough road, but it's clearing out everything I need to clear out and get to where I need. But awesome. that sounds very shamanic to me. Like which is, to me, it's the same. Do you feel like, I don't know what your background spiritual beliefs are, if you have.
So I'm a recovering Catholic. Recovering Catholic.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
Yeah. No.
All your sacraments.
I don't know.
Have you been through like the baptism and the
yes.
And all that stuff?
See, that's how bad how bad I am, because I don't know what the sacraments are. But yeah, I was baptized. I I ate the communion or whatever and did all that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Brandon says it is the same. That's my shaman.
Nice.
He's amazing. He's an amazing person. You guys should connect. But he only shows, like, he's weird. He only shows up when then he's supposed to. He like literally showed up one day. I'm like, why are you here? How did you get here? He's like, I have no idea how I got here. I was going here, but I ended up here where you are. Right. And that was when it all started. Yep. Divine intervention. So Reiki.
Yes.
I know what happened to me when I got Reiki attuned. Tell me how it changed things for you.
Boy, it kind of blasted my crown chakra wide open. I thought it was going to be more of like a full body type of thing, but no, it's just kind of like, all of a sudden, kaboom. And and then it was like, it definitely helped my my readings for sure. I found that my readings became a little bit more accurate. I was able to kind of like, I was able to kind of attune with somebody else's energy along with mine to give them, a reading as well. And it helped in that way. It really did. And along with the explosion in my head.
Yeah, I know. Did you, Now, what level? I asked you, and I might not have heard or paying attention because I have ADHD. What level are you at? Did you say you are a Reiki master?
A Reiki master. Yep.
Okay, so you did go all the way.
I did. Yeah, I went. I went into it.
Yeah, I know. So did I. I'm Reiki master as well.
That's awesome. Yep.
But my most powerful was that first attunement, that very first one.
Yep.
I know what I saw during my attunement. And I guess I'm getting at, like, I don't know what your belief is on some of the cryptid type things, because I'm a cryptid person.
Yeah.
But I really felt like, I want to call it alien energy.
Yep.
But not Hollywood alien.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't know if there's words for it. It's that cosmos. Did you feel that? Like the connection of the cosmos of between
kind of like blending in
with
your surroundings and blending in with everything that's a part of the universe, right? Become one with it almost, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it was for me too. Like I just kind of like, I don't know, it felt like just kind of like a swirling of energy, and then it just kind of was like, and it was kind of grounding in a sense too. Like it was weird. But yeah, that first one was kind of
wasn't
wild.
very grounding for me.
Oh no.
I struggle with the grounding part. I really do. But a lot of us spiritual healers and spiritual workers do struggle in the grounding. Like I feel like it's because we're up here so much. It's like we really have to be very intentional when it comes. Do you have a grounding practice?
I walk around barefoot. Well, when I can, especially not nowadays, because there's a couple feet of snow on the ground, but walk around barefoot. Like, and sometimes just to get grounded, I'll play like video games. Like I love playing PlayStation 4, and like sometimes that is enough to me to get me out of the spiritual head and get me into the just playing a game and just relaxing, connecting with Anunnaki. Yeah, hell yeah.
Brandon, that's exactly it. I would call out Anunnaki. Yes, exactly it. I didn't want to. Like some people don't know what that is, and I guess Chris, you do as well. But
I do.
Some people really don't. Like they don't understand like that star seed Anunnaki, that stuff. Like some people think it's very woo woo and out of this, but it is so that higher consciousness. So yes, I love that.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So what are you're obviously did I get it wrong? Are you doing a gallery reading or some kind of reading at the Maine Horror and Paracon, or am I wrong on that one?
No, you were right. I am doing a gallery reading for folks at the HorrorCon, which will be fun.
Yeah, I thought Jeff had told me that. So you live in Maine. Do you live far from Jeff and Ashley, or?
I think I'm like an hour or so from them.
Okay.
I live in central Maine, so I'm closer to Augusta. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're familiar with much towns in the Maine, but I'm kind of like right in the middle.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. How did you meet Jeff and Ashley?
We were on a paranormal team together years and years ago.
Okay, so you guys have known each other for a while.
Oh yeah, I've known Jeff and Ashley for probably 8 years now. Almost as long as I've been a medium, for sure. They've watched my whole journey. They've helped me out through so many things. Like I owe Jeff and Ashley so much. It's not even funny. Like they're just such good people. And I love them both.
They kept trying to get me to come up this weekend.
Yeah.
Because one of the Bigfoot guys is coming up. They're like, you got to come up. They're trying to come.
Yeah. Get up here.
Yeah, I do. I said over the summer, we're going to figure out something and just come up and have a weekend and a long weekend and have fun and just going to do it. He literally last night, I'm on the phone with him. He's like, are you coming this weekend? I'm like, no, that's 8 hours for me. It's a long drive.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
No, that's next weekend. Are you talking about next weekend, like the St. Patrick's Day weekend, Ashley?
That's next weekend?
No, this weekend is the 8th. Actually, were you like, maybe I will come up then. St. Patrick's Day in Maine.
Yep.
Oh, so okay, here we go. I thought I saw that when I was stalking you. Sorry, I stalked you a little bit, but that's my job. I run a podcast.
That's right. You got to do your informative. You got to get the information, right?
It's research. Doing
research. That's right. Research. Doing research.
Research.
That's right.
So yes, I did. Tell us about you. You have a metal band. You play music. Tell me a little
I
bit about
do.
that.
I play in a death metal band up here. Yep, there's the name right there. I can tell you that it's not. We didn't come up with that name just because we're sick weirdos. There is a story behind it.
I'm assuming there is, and
Yeah.
and my heart is actually going like this when I heard it. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of people that cringe when they hear that name. But this kind of ties into the paranormal too a little bit. But when I was born, I was a triplet. And unfortunately, my twins passed at birth.
I'm still here. Give me a second.
Oh, no worries. Their umbilical cords wrapped around my stomach and caused a huge scar around my stomach area. So I would say that was my stillborn condition, was having these scars around my stomach, and kind of like for my brothers who had passed away. But they also helped me in my spiritual work. So that's kind of comforting to know that there's people in the spirit world that are helping me out,
So you're the only one left out of that.
That's correct.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They passed in utero. They had passed in utero, and like I said, their umbilical cords wrapped around my stomach, and like I said, caused these really big scars that still to this day I have. So that's why we named it that. That
is so freaking powerful. Like, just think about that. Like, think about, like, I've known twins and triplets, and like the connection they have. Like you that is where I think that's where your gifts come from. Like, you have this divine connection always, because that's where they're at, coming back.
Yeah, and
like, they're always with you. Oh my God! Like I'm really. Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because like I always felt like there was two energies around me, and they didn't have a name, they didn't have a face, they were just silhouettes. But those have to be them. I can't explain it any other way. Like, those are my siblings, because they weren't able to have a face and a name, unfortunately, because they passed before they were able to be born. So that's kind of how they presented themselves to me, and I just didn't know it. And now that I know that, they kind of I interact with them. They're my spirit guides. Truly.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And, I believe in divine order of things. Like, it was all supposed to be this way. Right. They were there for a reason. Do you know what? Yeah, I was getting there. That's exactly what I was getting at. Do you know what sex do you know what gender they were?
Unfortunately, no. I assume and I feel in my heart that they were both male, but that's just okay. I don't know exactly.
Oh my God! I just got this this really strong vision of. You ever seen those video clips of like a person and then they go, whoosh, and they have like two people, like it's like this other people coming out of them? I just saw that happen to you, like this, like almost like. So I feel like it would have been identical. They would have all looked like you. And yes, I do feel like they are male. And like this, wow, you have very powerful energy. Very powerful, like more than I have seen in a while.
Oh, thank you.
I need to say that. Yes. You need to, oh goodness. Yes. Sorry. I'm a little overwhelmed by it.
Well, and it's funny too, because like I know, knowing that we're gonna, I don't want to spill the beans in case nobody knows, but like we're doing the readings at the end of this, right? So I open myself up to it as well, and like that's why you'll probably notice I'm kind of like full of nervous energy, because I'm just like it's all flooding in. I'm like, well, there they are,
and that's probably why I'm feeling them too, because they come in and they call, they help you.
Yeah, exactly. And along with my brothers too, like, and that's a heavy energy. Is those my twins are definitely a very heavy energy.
Yeah, they are you. It's you are mind, body, soul, like in three different dimensions at all times. So Ashley says he seriously does. I'm not joking. If you go and see him do his gallery readings, it's absolutely incredible.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you.
And I'm going to retract that. I don't know if he does need to name them, because I think they're all him. I do. I think they're all you. I mean, you could name them, and that's a personal thing for you, whether you want to or not. But it doesn't sound sorry, I don't normally do readings for people who come on my stuff, but I'm feeling
I
so
appreciate it.
much
It's
like
awesome.
it's like probably because you opened up and you knew you were going to do readings tonight. So yes, everybody, he is going to do readings tonight. So please, if you are, and I just did a highlight so people come on, if you are interested, Christopher, how do you want to work it? Do you want me to like have people like, do you want to pick out of the comments, or right now we only have 4 people watching. We had 11. I guess like there's a lot of things going on tonight. People come in and
Yeah,
out.
no worries.
Do you want to pick out energy from people, or do you want people to comment, hey, I would like a reading?
Yeah, just comment if you want a reading, and we can go from there.
Okay. All right. Some people,
Yeah.
some mediums that I have on like to like look at the comments and be like John, I have John on a lot. Sometimes he doesn't purposely he doesn't come on to do readings, but he'll be like, I'm feeling this right now. And then seeing who it resonates with.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
And
pretty
that could
like
happen that way.
your
Like I
energy's
could be
amazing.
reading for somebody.
Yeah,
Could be reading
sometimes
for
you get
somebody. I know
like
it's somebody else, but
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So someone, Debbie. So Debbie would like one. So if you are ready, I am ready. Like, and Sadie, because we have Debbie and Sadie. Like, if you are ready to
All
pick up
right.
on either of those two, I'll let you choose. Debbie was the first one to comment, so I will put that on.
Now, this is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be with Debbie or Sadie, but there's
Okay.
there's a male energy that wants to come through. I'm feeling like this energy feels like he's kind of talking about being younger, or I don't know. I say younger. I'm 40, so younger than myself, you know. But he also feels like there was like this passing of like intense feeling around it, like a tragic moment, something that was very powerful. I don't know if that resonates with her, and if it does, just go ahead and comment down. But I feel that just gentleman's really, really strong, really like high intense energy. He was kind of shy when he was here. He was somebody that didn't like socialize too much, but when he did, he opened himself up to the people that he truly loved. Does that make any sense for either of you guys? Cousin died when he was 14.
So he's 14. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that would be very tragic. I would have, yeah, I mean, obviously. So I could be with you, Debbie. Let me just try to, does anything else I've said make sense? Like, let me just try to keep going with him. It almost feels like he's telling me that he's taking responsibility for how he passed. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe he put himself in the wrong position, or maybe he actually ended up putting himself in a position that caused his passing. But he's saying that he's taking ownership and responsibility. I don't know if that makes sense for you at all. Yes, it does.
Yes,
okay.
it does. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm with you. And just know that like he wants to come to apologize, but he also knows that he doesn't have to, because he says you've made peace. You've tried to heal your heart from the things that have gone since he's passed. But he does want you to know that he's watched over you this whole time. He's been kind of like a guardian angel, kind of like a spirit guide for you, if you will. He says that you still communicate with him on occasion. You hear like a song that reminds you of him, and it'll bring you back to that. He also talks about how he was kind of like, he says he kind of had like I don't know, like he's kind of laughing, but he's got like this goofy kind of like, I don't know, this like playful laugh. I don't know how to describe it, but he's just saying that he's feeling a lot better now that he's in the spirit world. Like he feels good. He doesn't feel in any sort of way like depressed or anxious or anything like that. Like he's feeling healed from the things that he went through. And you can let me know if that makes sense for you or not.
So I know Debbie's been through a lot.
Yeah.
So
there's a few energies that are with her, but he was the first one that wanted to come through.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat makes sense. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And like some of those times, sometimes like things resonate now or don't resonate now, but they'll resonate later. And then like I've had people, I know you probably have, like, oh yeah, wait, like a couple days later, they're like, wait, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's see here. And again, I feel like I'm with her, but there's an older female that wanted to step forward for her as well. And I almost feel like she sees like, now it sounds very, very cliche, but I feel like she sees cardinals around this woman. She really does. I feel like she sees that as a symbol for her. And I feel like that's somebody that she resonates with quite a bit. This woman feels like she was like the kindest, like sweetest woman, but like had a bite to her. Like no gray area either. Like it was black and white. Like you knew where she was coming from, wherever this was, you know, like she was straight and to the point. The waiting.
The comments are usually delayed. I know,
okay.
and the comments are always delayed. So it's like, if Debbie doesn't resonate with that, I do.
That could be with you.
I mean, this morning, I have a cardinal that lives out here, and it is my grandmother, who is an older female,
Yep.
and she was exactly like that. And literally this morning, I walked out. Like, first, I have a dog, so the first thing you got to do is you go outside. Like, you hit the start of the coffee pot, you take the dog out, and there is the cardinal sitting right there this morning, and it was just looked at me, and I knew it was a message. Like, I knew that she was here. So
now, she was the kind of lady, like I said, that was very black and white, like didn't kind of beat around the bush or anything like that. Now, was she like, I don't know, because she's showing me different things, but like, did she cook real well? Or was she Italian by any chance?
No, she was not. But my aunt, maybe it's my aunt.
Because there's a woman that like is Italian who makes like great Italian food, like seriously good Italian food.
Okay. So you're definitely picking up on that, and it might be Debbie too. Well, actually that might be Debbie, because I know Debbie's Italian. So I believe you are.
Like I said, there was an older female that was very straight and to the point, and she was like, no, and there was a Cardinals that came through, and she's talking about like great cooking Italian.
There you
go.
Yeah, that's yours. That's definitely yours. I definitely think that's for you.
Yep. So yeah, your grandmother definitely wanted to make her presence known still too, and just let you know that she is just like, she's over the moon with how you're handling it. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but she says she's over the moon with how you're handling it. She says, good for you. I'm proud of you. Okay. Because like, I don't know. There's things that are happening that are out of your control, and there's things that are happening that are in your control, but all the stuff that's like out of it seems like more important to you. But she's just encouraging you to kind of like focus on the stuff that is in control, focus on those things. It's almost like, you know, like a mission 1, focus on what you can handle, mission 2, etc. Does that make sense at all? I always like to ask if it makes sense every now and again, just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm nodding because I knew Debbie. So.
Okay.
But yes. One thing at a time, Debbie. One thing at a time. She's like, yes, it does.
Okay. So I hope that helped you, and I hope that resonated. I hope that made sense. This woman also wants to talk about, Jesus, what is it? It seems like a necklace or something. It's almost like a necklace that comes down. It like, there's like a pendant here that she's talking about. And I'm not sure if it's like, I feel like it's some sort of like a ring on a chain. And I don't know if that makes sense, but like a ring on a chain. That's what she talks about.
I know, the waiting. Like, and I'm a podcast host, so like dead air is not good. So
I am sorry. I'm like,
no. I completely understand. Not sure if my mom would know. So this might be something.
So yeah, she's just talking about that piece of jewelry, and just kind of like letting you know, like maybe ask mom and see what she says, and hopefully that resonates with you. But these 2 people that came through for you, Debbie, they absolutely love you. They absolutely care about you. They want you to know that they're part of your spirit team, and they are spirit guides for you. So if you need them for anything, just call upon them. They'll be there for you. Okay.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And I just want to like put a disclaimer out there, because I know, like, as when I do these things too, like, you saw a necklace with a ring on it,
right?
And that's how you are perceiving what spirit is telling you, because they give us these messages the way we're going to understand it, maybe not the way you are going to understand it. Yes, Debbie, you can ask a question. So sometimes, like, even like when you were saying that, I was figuring, like, does it mean a promise? Like, usually, or someone who passed, like a husband who passed away, like someone who puts a ring on a necklace is usually someone that, like, either someone passed away and they keep it close to their heart, the ring close to their heart, or someone that is away from their and like in the military is kind of what I'm feeling like with the ring on the necklace. So sometimes it's like these symbols. We get symbols as readers, and sometimes they mean different things. Okay, here's her question: is there an older male figure around me?
Older male figure. Now, when you first said that, I just kind of. Sorry, I'm just kind of like.
I wonder if that's the ring on the necklace.
That could be. It could be. Because oftentimes spirit will kind of like, they'll just start coming in, and sometimes I'll know and sometimes I won't. But but older gentleman, just the feeling I'm getting from this is like this gentleman feels like he kind of like he went through a lot before he passed. He kind of dealt with like medical issues, like a lot of different things that were going on with him. But I feel like he's telling me that his passing was fairly quick as a result of what he went through, even though it didn't feel that way. Like he dealt with his illness for a long time, but his actual passing seemed kind of quick, like too fast. Okay.
Yes. She says yes.
So, okay. But I also feel like he's telling me that he wasn't alone when he passed. There was people around him. There was loved ones with him. And now that's what he wants to really highlight. He's like, I didn't pass alone. I don't want anybody to feel like I was by myself. And let's see. And I don't know if it makes sense either, but there was a name that kind of began with a T earlier that kind of sounded like Tom to me. But
right, she says. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, yeah. So just know that he just appreciates everybody that was with him, because he wanted to bring that forward. Yeah. He was like, no, there was people with me. I was not alone. I didn't feel like I was alone. And again, healed from the things he went through. I almost feel like it feels like cancer to me, or like a degenerative disease, something that was like long lasting, that kind of like went a while. And maybe even spread, I'm not sure if this is like, it just kind of like spreads out and kind of gets worse as he ages and as it gets going. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Again, this is a guy that he's telling me he didn't always say the things he wanted to say. He didn't always kind of like talk about like emotions and things like that. But he does want to tell you that he loves you, even though he might not have said it as much as he would have wanted to when he was here. Had a T in his name and he had cancer. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So just know that he's here. Okay. Just know that he's here. And
was he in the military, Debbie? I'm sorry. I don't mean to like overarch you, but I get this strong feeling of like he wants to know that he was in the military. Like he wants to know that this is, and maybe Brandon, this is what I'm picking up for you, but like there is a military guy that's out here that's something, and I feel it has to do with what you're saying, Chris. I'm sorry. I don't normally do this.
No, that's not at all. That's okay. It's totally okay. So yeah, for the short time he was in the military. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. So it's always cool when two mediums pick up on the same person. You know what I mean? I love that. I love it. It's so cool. But this man definitely,
we have similar energy, I think.
I think so. I think spirit world can do that. They know that. And would it make, like I said, it makes sense for him not to be very kind of emotional and things like that. But a great guy, you know what I mean? Like stand up person, like really just a genuine human being is what I'm feeling from this gentleman. He wants you to, he's kind of like, he's witty, but it's like a dry wit. It's like, I don't know, like the best way I could describe it is like he'd tell a joke and people be like, get it, like that kind of a thing, like just kind of like knee slapper jokes and things like that. So
this is Michael. I don't know if you know Michael.
Nope.
We love Michael. He has I was on his podcast recently. Michael, if you're looking for a podcast guest, I don't know if you guys have Para with a Normal. He is very he goes through life with humor. So
as one should.
Don't take offense to anything he says I never take offense to anything he says.
No. It takes a weird amount of things for me to get upset, but I am totally cool with everybody's got to have a sense of humor. You got to take it lightly. You can't take yourself too seriously. You know what I mean?
No. And he matches your energy. Like he matches our, like this, he's this type of energy. You get it. I just feel like you get it. So
I get it. Yeah.
So Debbie is saying yes. So she is resonating with everything, I guess, that you're saying, Debbie. I'm glad this was able to come through for you tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad it was too, Debbie. And like I said, these people want you to know that they love you, that they care about you, that they're with you. So just remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Okay, so I know Sadie said she wanted a reading, but Brandon also was like, he was picking up on something. He's like, is there a message for me? I seem to be missing something. So I don't know if you want to see if you can pick up on Sadie or pick up on the two of them. I know, like what you did earlier, you kind of looked at the two of them. Debbie says, thank you.
You're very welcome,
We'll talk
Debbie.
more about it tomorrow, Debbie.
You're very welcome. So let's see. Let me just try to see. Let me see who comes through. And if anybody just, if it makes sense for you, just write it down in the comments. Well, that'd be one thing to imagine that comes through in a reading. That's so funny.
It would. I literally made a comment. He was talking about, he does a lot of reels. He did a reel the other day at talking about how, I loved it because he's like, if ghosts can or if humans can come back as ghosts, can machines come back as ghosts? You know, can this and this happen? Or like, I forget what kind of machine he said, but he was talking about like, maybe that's why all the haunted hospitals are empty now. And I said, well, what about vibrators?
Oh no.
No, I did say, no, I said adult toys. I did.
Adult, well, there you go. You just walk around the corner and all of a sudden, you know, like, what was that?
Could you imagine? Have you seen the movie? What is that? The movie where all the trucks come to life and all the machines come to life, and it's a horror movie. What is that? Where it's
of course you say
Ashley, help me out here. You're a little younger than me. You're a couple years younger than me. So this was definitely an 80s movie with all the machines coming to life. I forget what it was, but can you imagine like all of the
Short Circuit?
No, I do know Short Circuit. I do know that.
Okay. That was a great movie.
You just gave me your geek card there, by the way.
Absolutely. I am a nerd
you just
to the max.
Gave me your geek card.
Look at that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maximum Overdrive. There it is.
Maximum Overdrive.
Everything comes in, like the machines come to attack people.
Nice. It's been a while, but I do know that movie.
Yeah, Mike. So, like can you imagine the adult toys coming to attack people? Sorry.
That would be
okay.
Funny. Actually,
anyway.
Well, anyway, yeah. So, not to digress too much, right? I was gonna say, have you ever seen the movie?
Wait, where's my bell? I have a bell for a reason. When I get off track.
Yeah, you have a bell.
Anyway, so I do. I have a bell that. Right here, and I didn't bring it out. So when I get off track, I ring the bell to get myself back on track.
Nice.
So Sadie also crochets adult toys, by the way. So
nice. So if I could go to Sadie, if I could come to her, there's like I don't know how to describe this. It's like she must have a sister or like somebody that's like I don't know. The spirit world's talking about a sister, right? They're talking about having like an argument with her recently, and I don't know if that makes sense or like maybe some sort of disagreement or like maybe you guys didn't see eye to eye on something. But there's a female that's contemporary to you that seems like you might have had a go at recently, and I don't know if that makes sense for you, but the spirit world sees that. Okay, and I'm trying not to. Let's see. And it almost feels like this is coming from a family member, like a family member that is in spirit world, like telling you that, like, you don't need to kind of like butt heads with people. Like you can, just try to, jeez. Okay. So you got irritated with your sister. Yes.
There's a story behind how much for the special penis Reiki. There's a story behind that. We'll talk about that later.
$1 million. All right.
Okay.
So that irritated with you, so that's kind of resonating with you. So just know that there's know that there is. It feels like a woman that's in the spirit world that wants you to know that she sees what's going on between you two and hopes that you guys can figure it out, or like But like you said, it wasn't too serious, so that's a good thing. But this woman feels like she's kind of She's talking about having like some cognitive issues before she passed. Like she couldn't quite figure things out a little bit. And I also feel like she might have like taken a spill, or maybe she might have like slipped on something and fell a little bit before she passed as well. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but she talks about a fall, and she also talks about her mind being kind of like distorted a little bit, and just kind of like maybe some cognitive issues. And Stacy too, if you feel anything, just let me know. You know, just kind of, you can jump in too, but
I am too close to Sadie. Like she is her and I are very close. She's one of those ones that have been helping me through stuff recently. So, you know, I don't know how you feel about this when you're really close to someone. Sometimes it gets distorted.
It can, absolutely. So she says it was her great. Okay.
Okay.
So she would have had the fall, and she would have had probably dementia or something like that, Alzheimer's, yeah, and fell and broke her pelvis and ultimately died. Okay. So she wants to come through just to let you know that, like, one, you know, with the argument with your sister, even though it was just a minor thing, like that's a way that she can tell you that she's watching out for you. You know, it's a way that she can say that she sees what's going on in your life now. And that's kind of like a comforting thing, right? Yeah, she's like, she doesn't have to deal with all the medications that she took either. Like she talks about having to take all these pills and all these different medications. Like she's like showing me like a medication pill box, and she's like throwing it out the window and saying like, I don't need these fucking things anymore. Although I don't feel like she would have swore. Like she's not that kind of a lady. Like she's more like, no, I'm going to be like, not proper, but you know, not swearing, I guess you could say. She didn't really care for that kind of profanity. She thought there was better words you could use than swears, if that makes sense. Right. Great, Graham. Yep. Nice. Again, this woman, like, you know, before, you know, I was saying that some people like might be shy to say she loves you, but she is not shy to say she loves you. She wasn't shy to say it when she was here. Certainly not when she was, certainly not now. Let's see. And I don't know if this makes sense for you either, but she was talking about actually like calling out to somebody before she passed, and like saying it was somebody that had already passed, somebody that was waiting for her on the other side, but she was calling out to that person, and she wants you to know that they connected on the other side. Like they have met, they're doing well, and it feels like a gentleman. It feels like her husband, actually. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but it feels like she would have met her husband on the other side. Oh, I can't hear you.
Now can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I had a puppy issue, so I was like, I hit the.
Oh, no worries. I got two dogs. I'm surprised they haven't been barking.
So Brandon brought up the big spoon, and I for some reason I keep getting drawn to that spoon behind you, and then he said big spoon, so I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Brandon, but that spoon is like speaking out to me. But anyway,
it is a big spoon.
Sadie did say, "Oh, my pappy, I miss him so much." Yeah,
he misses you too. He loves you dearly.
Husband.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So that would be who that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so they definitely miss you. They want you to know that, like, when you talk to them, it's not falling on deaf ears. They can hear you. They are responding to you. Now, I'm not sure if this makes sense either, but did you like give up drawing or like doing your art, or like have you been like, I don't know, like they're talking about you being an artist and like you like kind of not doing it as much as you should. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but they're like, get back on that horse, like start drawing, start getting into it, start being creative, like have that catharsis, because it's so helpful for you. You know, it can make your mind stop racing as fast as it does on most occasions, if that makes sense.
I know the waiting.
It was writing. Okay, great.
We should too. Yeah, it was writing. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, just getting that catharsis out there, getting that kind of start putting pen to paper, you know, just even if it just doesn't amount to anything, just get it on there, just do it, you know, because it'll help you, even if it's journaling or whatever it might be, just start putting pen to paper. And I think that's the message they wanted to give for you. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And just know that those two people are definitely around you and they love you.
So Buddy's asking Portland, you say. I think Buddy's asking, like, where are you from? I think you're outside of Augusta, you said. Not
yeah,
Portland,
I did grow up
right?
in Portland, though. Yeah, I did grow up in Portland.
Okay.
But yeah, but I live closer to Augusta.
Okay.
Oh,
Sadie
no.
says you're going to make me cry. Good.
They're happy tears. Good healing tears. Hopefully.
Sadie, it's time to stop freezing the emotions. She puts her emotions in the freezer.
Yeah, I can relate.
Called you out. Sorry. I just called you out, Sadie. Just called you out. Okay. So I think Brandon said something. If Brandon, you're still in here. Rude, Stacy. LOL. I don't know if you're picking up anything from Brandon at all. If anybody else would like anything, like if you feel like if you feel called, make a comment. If you want him to see if he can pick up anything for you guys. We usually run, I forgot to tell you, we usually run until about 10. So if no one else picks up, then we can talk about stuff.
Sure.
Here comes the therapist.
Oh, no.
Carrie and I used to work together. I am a therapist. That's what I do in my day job. So
oh, nice. Okay.
I am the emotions people. We used to work with adolescents and kids. I miss that classroom so much.
That's funny because I am actually going to school right now for to become a health and human services worker.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I go into school at in Augusta.
So is Atlanta, Michael, where is, I'm assuming is that in Atlanta? Like, when is that? Tell us about that. Leave it in the comments. Carrie says Carrie also is if you pick up for her. So you have Carrie and Brandon. So.
Carrie and Brandon. I know, let's see. Brandon, I almost feel like I'm drawn to him. And again, guys, I will say this is like, I'm medium first. So my goal is to connect you with people who've passed away. I don't know. That's just what I've been called to do and what feels right for me. Mm-hmm. So if I'm very spirit driven, that's why. Just because like I feel that energy, mostly from stuff. But with Brandon, there's a so if he's here, let me know in the comments just so I can know I'm going to him.
I know Brandon's like here in and out. So
yeah.
Thursday's a busy day for podcasts.
That's okay. Let's see, but there's I'll just kind of throw it out there, and hopefully, if it makes sense for somebody, then they can raise their hand. If it makes sense for Brandon and he's in the chat, then yeah, just comment below. But I feel like there was a gentleman that wants to talk about being in the military, but he's talking about this as like more of a recent thing. So he was more recently in the military. This is somebody that passed away overseas, I feel like, or like in combat, like something happened to him that wasn't expected. And honestly, I feel like there was like, it sounds deep and dark, but I forgive me for that, but it sounds like there was like an IED involved, some sort of explosive or some sort of like sabotaging of what was going on. I don't know if that makes sense for anybody or if anybody can relate to that, but there is a gentleman that wants to come through, and he doesn't feel like he's very old. You know what I mean? He almost feels like mid to late 20s, somewhere around there. Yeah, it definitely feels like he was kind of like a military connection.
I just sent him a message, and that would make sense for Brandon because I do know that he has some military connections.
Okay.
He's the person I was talking about with my shaman. So okay. I did just message him. I know he's been on and off listening to a couple different podcasts because he feels like he has to, give everybody attention.
For sure. Yeah, you gotta support everybody.
Yes. Oh, I know. I do the same thing. Like I was on a podcast right before mine started. I had it in the background, and that was Bill Rigsby, and he was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, Bill. He is my cryptid friend, and I was on his podcast, and he has a wonderful podcast. It's Agents of the Unexplained. So
nice.
Go check him out as well. So
now, if that gentleman does make sense for anybody that's in the chat, just let me know.
I see him. I sent him a bunch of noodles. I don't even know what that means right now.
I wonder if
it's probably funny.
Was his friend.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. But let's see. The ramen shaman.
Oh, he's a ramen shaman. I knew there was a joke coming. But I'm pumped.
I actually missed it.
She's like, I missed it.
Oh,
So yeah, Michael's talking about Hauntlanta. Hauntlanta, is that how you say it? Hauntlanta. It's March 14th and 16th
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. Michael, if you can get me in, I will come. But I
That'd be
can't
cool.
afford to drive there and pay a hotel and all that stuff. So
I've never been to Atlanta. I've only been through Georgia, but I do like it down south.
yes, me too. I grew up in Florida actually. For
Oh,
a
did
good
you
bit.
really?
So
Which part?
yes, I did in Clearwater, Florida.
Oh,
Clearwater,
I love
outside of Tampa Bay.
Clearwater. No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Clearwater is beautiful.
I
I
grew
went
up
down there a few years
Largo.
back.
It's actually Largo. Yeah.
Largo. Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Most people don't know Largo. I knew someone who was killed in the war, but it was a long time ago and it was overseas. So
So yeah, it was let's see. Would you have been in and around 27 years old or like roughly that age? Because that's the age he's presenting to me anyway.
I'll message
Yes, he
you.
was. Okay.
Thanks.
So I guess I'm back
Yes.
with Debbie. She got a strong
Debbie.
spirit team, which is a good thing, you know. It's funny because like I've done
Yeah.
galleries before, and this sort of thing happens where you go to the same person multiple times.
I
Just because,
know.
like, their people are strong, you know. But yeah, he definitely wanted to come through for you, Debbie. Let you know that he's in the spirit world too. That he's doing well. That like he didn't suffer. He didn't feel any sort of pain. I don't feel like. And he wants you to know like that's a very important message to all this. Like he didn't kind of go through anything, although it might have appeared that way. But spiritually, he was taken out of his body and kind of like brought to that good place. Brought to, I mean, I call it the good place. You know, whatever you want to call it. You know, place of unconditional love and light is also what I call it. You know, so that's where he's at. That's where he made it to. I hope that makes sense for you. That resonates.
I don't know if no one else like. If you pick up anything from me, I always like things picking up. It's so bad saying, "Hey, what about me?" You know, but
no, it's not bad at all because like I've always been like I want to get a reading, but I don't know like where to go. You know, like
yeah. I know it's so like for us, like especially like we know the good and the bad. Like we know. Like the ones that are out there to make the money, we know the ones that are. I call it Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
But yes, like sometimes we know like there's people like I will get readings from. I know that I can trust, and that's the kind of thing. So I think I actually I was just picking up on that with Mike too. I think he needs a reading as well. Mike is very closed off, so it's very hard to read him. But I do feel like every time I've talked to him, there is a spirit that kind of like comes around and maybe have caused him trauma, and that is the reason why he diffuses with humor. So
I mean, that's okay.
That's good to know. Yeah, I would like to believe that as well. Like they remove your spirit before you feel the pain. If you do die tragically, I like that idea. I would love to believe that.
You know, that's what I've been drawn to believe, and that's what like spirit tells me. Like there's been numerous times where it's like if somebody maybe like committed suicide or if they suffered before they passed, like they were removed from their body spiritually just so like they didn't have to go through that sort of, or like a car accident or something like that. You know what I mean? So
you can hear her, Sadie. You guys can hear her. I was trying to get someone to take her upstairs because I'm trying to be professional here and not have my dog whining in the background, but apparently you guys can hear her.
You know, it's funny because like I have 2 dogs too, and every podcast I do, they always go nuts, and they've been quiet all night, which is so weird.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Thursdays are my 10-hour days. So I left early today, and so she spent a lot of time alone today. So she wants people.
Wow. It's like, give me attention, please.
She hears me talking. Yeah, that's what she wants right now. I even bought her a bully stick for tonight, just so she would be quiet and get sitting there in her pen and eat her bully stick. So Grandma, I forget how to pronounce her last name, but she passed passes. She was 96 or in 96.
There's also
I like how, like, God.
Oh no,
A lot of piggybacking tonight.
Yeah, which is cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's like dog in the spirit world that's around him. I don't know. I feel like that.
Oh, a dog.
I might be with him, and I love connecting with animals just because they're so unconditional, they're so full of love and light. But this feels like a male dog that would have been with him in the spirit world. That just kind of like is connected to him. I don't know if that makes sense for you, Michael, but it feels kind of like a doofusy male dog.
No, you're just picking up on Michael. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm assuming, like what I was saying here when he was talking about his grandma, Michael, that name sounds Italian. I don't know if it is Italian, but when you were talking earlier, Chris, about an Italian who likes to cook, I'm wondering if that also is like a piggyback for Michael.
Yeah, that could be. Especially if she was more like little or big. He feels like more of like a lab almost, the size of a lab. So I don't think it was like a chihuahua or anything like that.
Well, Michael, you are a chihuahua, though. She loved to cook. There we go. So, like, that's that piggyback.
Yep.
That happens.
Now, I almost feel like she's talking a mile a minute, too. Do you feel that same way, Stacey? Like she just talks like a mile a minute. Like she's just kind of like...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm definitely picking up on her. I'm picking up on, like, throwing shoes or something, or, like, throwing something, like, when you were bad. Like, I'm going to get you.
Like, yeah, like, what the hell did you just say to me? Wham!
Yeah. Great aim. Great aim.
Oh, man, that would explain a lot. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And that's a fantastic name for a pup. That's a great name for a pup.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that dog is with you, dude. Like, I just want you to know that. Like, that dog is definitely with you and appreciates everything that you did for him.
Dragon lady.
The dragon lady. Nice.
That is awesome.
I don't know if this makes sense for you either, Michael, but I feel like he's talking about like you were with him when he passed. This is his grandma.
Ashley's picking up on it too. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like Michael takes on the energy of his grandma. I feel like it's almost like his grief journey. Would this be like what you're doing out here, Michael? Is this your grief journey with your grandma? Like out in the paranormal world? Trying to make everybody happy, trying to make everybody laugh, trying to make everybody get along. You freaking big hippie.
I know that feeling all too well. That's why we'd probably be really good friends.
Why? So do I.
I got the long hair. I listen to 60s music.
Paranormal. I have the opposite. I have the short hair, but hippie paranormal. We need to come up with a team.
Hippie paranormal. That would be fantastic. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, my term paper in high school, my 12th grade term paper was actually on the hippie revolution and Timothy Leary.
Oh, no kidding. Nice.
Yes. So.
Nice.
I don't do this often, but she is stubborn, and that's good. Actually, yeah. Like this is definitely more than welcomed.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, especially like, if it calls to you, you got to say it.
Exactly, and that's what I love, and I love that about you, Christopher, too. Like I'm that way. Like I'm not. If there's there's no competition in this world. I'm going to pick up what I pick up from people. You're going to pick up what you pick up from people. And it's all different. Spirit talks to different people for different reasons. And the message is supposed to come out for whoever's highest good. So,
yep.
My grandpa, Hi, I'm the grandparents of their son by inspiration. Many things they thought, though they passed away when I was only 15. But that's your primitive years. That was like when you were making who you were and you're figuring out your identity. So that would make sense why they were your inspiration.
It's funny. I almost like, I don't know him, but like, does he do like impressions of people and like just like different voices and things like that? Like just as a gag, like as a funny thing to do, or like maybe he did it when he was younger. I'm not sure, but I almost see him as being like trying to impersonate what he saw on TV, or like if he quote movies lyrics or like movie quotes and things like that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I
haven't changed a bit.
I've actually never met him in person.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that'd be something that you could clarify, Michael, if that makes sense for you. But I don't know. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. Is just very animated when you were a kid. Especially like
he's
when you were
animated. Yeah, he has a show. Yes, he has a show on Stream Beacon TV called Paranormal. So everybody, if you go over to Stream Beacon TV, and I think it's on pretty much all of. I think it is now on Roku too. So like Amazon Fire and Google TV, and you can find that channel. And his show is over there called Paranormal. So.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And he says, yes, I do that all the time. So I thought so. I thought he did.
Yeah, it's a way of spirit to let you know that they remember those things about you, that they like. There's one of the things that they loved about you, you know. Especially, I feel like it's coming from your grandparents, but like one of the things.
He was at the Bash bartending. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You're okay.
Interrupt.
You're all good. But yeah, they're just letting you know that like that's one thing that they loved about you is how animated you were and how much of a people person you were, but people pleaser as well.
And that's his humor is his way of pleasing people. I'm sorry, Michael. You were at the Bash, and I didn't know. I might have been otherwise engaged in alcoholic adult beverages.
Oops.
That night. But we never really I might have in passing, but we didn't really connect in person. So, but Michael says, thank you, sir. Thank you. And Brandon never showed back up. So I know he'll watch it later and he will connect. So is connecting spiritual with animals common or once in a lifetime thing?
I think it's common, you know. It's the same thing as connecting with loved ones who are, you know, just normal, you know, loved ones that you know, like a parent or a son or a grandparent or anything like that. They're going to be around you just as much as an animal would be because animals love you too. You know, they want to be around you. They want to let you know that they are protecting you. So I don't think it's a once in a lifetime thing. I think it's very common. I think that, you know, I think it's our right as spiritual beings and spiritual people to be connected with those beings, especially after they've crossed. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
All right, I got to go back and look at my pictures because during the celebrity bartending, I was so focused on getting my husband a lap dance from Santiago. So,
That's
that
right.
was, yeah. Okay, I got to go back to the pictures. Anyway.
That's good. Are you talking about the Gettysburg?
Yes. Are you going to be there this year or?
Probably not this year. I don't know. When is it actually?
It is July 25th, 26th, and 27th. So it raises money for wounded warriors. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a great weekend, a great party, and raises money for some great causes. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. With Batman.
Oh, you were with Batman. Batman was topless. I didn't see you topless. I saw Batman topless. I'm going back through my pictures. All right. Anything like Carrie was talking about, like if you picked up something for her, obviously pick up something for me. I would love to hear.
Can I come to you?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
There is a gentleman that wants to come through for you, okay? And I almost feel like he's talking about he's like dad vibes to me. I don't know if it would make sense for your father to be in spirit or somebody that was like a father for you, but like there's a dad type of energy that's in spirit that's around you. Does that make sense?
Keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there Keep
I'll
going.
keep going.
I
I'll
don't
keep
want to say
going.
anything yet.
No. But he feels like he's that vibe. He feels, I don't know. I almost feel like maybe he's like father-in-law, or like, I don't know. Like he's not like, he's telling me that there's a separation there for a little bit. There's some sort of separation that happened, or like maybe you didn't see him for a little while and then he kind of re-entered your life, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. Does that make sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I don't know, like he's not vain, but he's just saying how he looks now. Like he's like, I feel good, I look good, you know, almost like because he didn't feel good or look too good before he passed. Does that make sense? Because he's like, I feel like $1 million. He's like, don't think I don't. Right? He's like, I look good. I look good. Please know that. All right. He's also talking about it was. Are you open to everything I get?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's saying the last time you saw me wasn't what he wants you to remember. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry. Like, I've been feeling him around me lately too. This is this is something I need to deal with.
Okay.
It was a stepfather.
Yep. That would make sense as
and
to why he's saying
every time I've been on a podcast, but he was for the longest time the only father that I felt was a real father. But then something happened to change that for me. And that's what you mean by the last time I saw him. Sadie knows what I'm talking about. So I've been feeling him around lately, and I've been doing podcasts and doing things, and people have been like talking about the man behind me smoking a cigarette. And I have been denying that he's there. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is. And I'm like, whatever, you know, yeah, that is my husband's brother who passed away, and he's back there smoking a cigarette. But I knew who it was all along, and I was waiting for someone to pick up on it. Yeah.
Well, just
There's
know that
a lot
he
there
wanted
to
to
unpack.
Yeah, I mean, he just definitely wanted to like come through and be like, I want you to know these things. Like, I want you to know that like I fucked up and made mistakes in life. You know what I mean? Like I said things I shouldn't have said sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, I want to take ownership of that. He's like, I know I didn't take ownership of it when I was here, and I'm sorry for that. He's like, but I want you to know now that like I can see the forest through the trees a little bit. Like I figured out what I did wrong and how I could have corrected it, you know, and like let me try to help you correct that now. Again, this is somebody that you speak to almost all the time spiritually. Like he knows you're speaking to him. He knows your words are not falling on deaf ears, like he's saying, you know what I mean? He's like, but sometimes he's like, I know that you want to punch a fucking hole in the wall too. Does that make sense? Because he's like, there's times where you just want to like lift the table up and just throw it and be like, fuck all this and fuck you. Like, what the hell? Like, not mad at him necessarily, but mad that he's gone.
No, I'm mad at him. Like, okay. No, like, and I'm not going to disclose on air all of this stuff in respect for there was another party involved, in respect for that party, but I'm mad. It's messy.
Fair enough. I will leave it alone. I won't get too deeply into it. But
I knew he's been here, and I've been trying to deny it. I've been waiting for someone to pick up on it, and you're the first person that's been able to pick up on it.
Well, see, not to get too like I'm not going to get personal into your personal life, but just kind of more about him. Was he the kind of guy that would have liked like the Andy Griffith Show or those old kind of classic shows, like Gunsmoke, maybe like Bonanza?
Yeah.
Because he's like, he's like absolutely. In heaven or in the spirit world, wherever I am. He's like, I get to watch all the TV I want. Nobody has to tell me to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, he's also talking about, was he a reader as well? Like loved books?
No, not that I would know of. No.
It's interesting because he showed me like a library of books. He's saying he's kind of plucking one out every now and again. He's kind of reading it and kind of learning from it a little bit. And maybe that's just kind of metaphorical for where he's at now. What's that?
He couldn't read. He couldn't read.
So he was illiterate.
He was illiterate.
Okay,
so maybe that's what he's trying to say. Maybe he's saying like, I can read now.
That could exactly be what he's saying. Just because he's like, he showed me a library, he showed me books, and he's kind of taking one off the shelf and he's kind of like looking through it and kind of like pawing through it and just kind of learning from it. It's almost like he's learning from the universal library. You know what I mean?
Akashic Records.
Yeah. And like doing the work, because he's got work to do. And that's what he's telling me. He's like, I'm doing the work. I'm trying to do the work. And I'll leave it there. But I hope that helped you, and I hope that made sense for you.
It did. It brought up the forgiveness that I need to know that I have to come to. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, no problem. Whew.
Actually, that is amazing. Actually, you're coming on the witches round table. I don't know if you are a practicer of the craft, Christopher, but we're doing a witches round table. Okay, we're doing a witches round table on the what is it? The 20th, right? The 20th? The first day of spring.
Okay, that's
my
cool.
My podcast falls on the first day of spring. Yeah, March 20th. So.
Hell yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Brandon's back. I'm gonna take the attention off of me. Because that could have been multiple things. We're gonna talk later because like there could have been some multiple things. There you got mixed messages because I have 3 father figures. So
very likely that all 3 of them are probably trying to come through all at once.
Well, if one of them's coming through, then that's a big thing for me because I didn't know he had died. But I've been feeling like my real father, my biological father, has passed away recently. I got a vision of him in my dreams recently. He came to me and he apologized. I've not seen him since I was 6 months old. This one I don't mind talking about because it's a known story. That I was abandoned by my real father, and I feel like he came to me recently, and I actually saw his death before it happened, and I do feel like he's passed. And I've been trying to look for his obituary, and he does live up north, so he's in Vermont.
Vermont, okay, yep,
yeah. So I feel like part of that could have been him too, because he was the reader. So,
okay,
but like that, I feel like they're all piggybacking on each other.
It seems to be.
But I have a daddy wound. From all 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right, but Brandon's back. I know you were talking earlier if you wanted to pick up anything.
It's funny because like I thought I was with him, and I still kind of feel this way about the military connection with him, or having friends in the military that had passed. Just people that he knows. Can
I interrupt real
Sure.
quick?
Yeah, sure.
I usually take a break about 30 minutes ago, and I didn't, and I play my sponsor so I could use the restroom. Do you mind talking to Brandon? I'm going to turn my camera off, and you pick up with what you can from Brandon?
Not at all. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, Brandon, I don't know if that makes sense for you, but like I definitely feel like there's like connections to people that are in the military that are kind of closer to your age, or just like people that you consider brothers, just people that are very close to you, that you almost like incorporate into shamanic practices. And I don't know if that makes sense for you, but you can let me know in the comments. But there's a few folks that are in the spirit world. One of them being that gentleman. I almost feel like this guy could like put down some beers. I don't know, like he could drink, like he could, or maybe he's talking about drinking with you. I'm not sure. Like, I almost feel like this feeling of like you partying like way hard for a long time and then becoming like more clean and more level-headed, and just kind of like giving all that up and just not kind of focusing on that either. And again, like you can let me know if that makes sense for you, but that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. And I hope I'm with you if you're here. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. There's also like there's talk of having a service that was done here. Like, so there was a service that was done in the States or like back at home. But it was kind of like a military kind of style, service. There would have like, I don't know. I'm almost seeing like the 6-gun salute. I'm not sure if that makes sense or like something to that effect, but there's this feeling of that, kind of like a military style funeral. But yeah, just let me know. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's hard to go forward, but I don't want to say too much and then have it be lost in the mix. But
I'm here. Give me a second to
Okay.
put my camera on. But
And feel
I'm
free,
blown
Brandon, if
away.
it doesn't make sense, tell me that too.
I am blown away because I know Brandon and I know
Oh,
some of the things. And I'm in the bathroom and I have my thing in my ears. And I'm like, whoa. Like, so I can tell you if he doesn't answer, it resonates. Like that.
okay.
When you were talking about the drinking
Yep.
and getting in the party and kind of stopping, like that's like he did. He like
Okay.
that Brandon himself. Like that
Yep.
I'm in the bathroom like, whoa, I can't believe you just picked up on that.
um, a man that has done an incredible amount of spiritual work, obviously, to get to where he's at, but like struggles sometimes still to maintain that feeling of sobriety. And I don't mean to call you out or air out any dirty laundry, but it's like the spirit world knows that it's tough for you sometimes to be around people that are maybe drinking or like doing certain things. And you know, it's like you cut everything out. You cut everything out.
Yeah, I believe he did. I might be wrong, but like I said, I believe that
Well,
that's
and you know,
like,
again,
yeah.
I don't want to say to anything that's going to get him into trouble, but maybe like, yeah, maybe one thing that he does still, you know.
But I just like I don't know if you know what he does. I mean, you're talking about the six gun salute and things like
Yes.
that. Like he is a big with veteran stuff. I can't remember the website, but he does these things that God, Brandon, I wish you were still on here. Like when we did a podcast together, he was, what is it called? Like he does this honoring of
Okay.
veterans and
Oh man. Okay.
he's working on some things that some of them he can't talk about, but there are some things that he's working on. And I'm like you were picking up on it. Like like regardless of what he says, like I can tell you, like you are picking up on some of the
All
things.
right.
Yes.
You know, I feel like the spirit world definitely has his back for sure. You know, and I feel like they're constantly giving him reassurance, but like this feeling of like self-deprecation really kind of like kicks him in the balls. You know, like because he kind of beats himself up a little bit still. Like he second guesses himself sometimes, doesn't always trust. Although 90% of the time he does, but that 10%, it's like fuck. Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I not? You know, it's like it's that 10% that he needs to kind of just really release to the spirit world and let them know that like I'm putty in your hands. Like do with me what you will.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they need for him. You know, I think that's what the spirit world definitely wants him to know and that what they want to say to him. He is loved. He is cared for. You know, he's got amazing people in his corner from what I feel like. There's like a crew of people that help him out and just like are there for him and just kind of like stand by him.
If I show you a picture of the person you pick it up on, would you be able to say, yeah, this is the person? Do you see pictures?
I see snapshots. So yeah, an image would make sense.
Okay. So this is his Facebook cover photo.
No shit. Holy shit. Okay.
Right?
All right.
I know he's probably like jumping back and forth or he's just ignoring us, but yeah.
Either one. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. What's his name? Gary Sinise? No, that's not his name.
No, Brent.
No. The guy that he's with is an actor.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But
he was in
he's a lot of things
in Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. That's his name. So that like he does a lot of things military. Like that is his life. Like that's that awesome. Is his life. Okay. Yes. And he wants like he supports veterans. He supports all like I'm trying to that's paranormal beautiful. Task Force. Hold on. I'm trying to find the yeah, there was something he's doing. I will find it out later. But yeah. So
nice.
So Ashley, are you talking like him and Brandon need to connect? I do agree with that. Yes.
I'd love to.
Brandon shows up when he's supposed to show up. So.
That's like that reminds me of Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna give my nerd card again here, but in the Lord of the Rings when he goes, the wizard arrives exactly when he means to.
Yes. So Joanne's here from Canada. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
I know she was. It sounds like she's friends with Brandon. She's like, "Wow, sing song, yeah." I'm not really sure who Joanna is, but it's great that you're here. I'm glad. He says good. He needs it. So she
Okay.
must be somehow connected with Brandon. So
Okay.
that's amazing.
That is awesome.
So, all right. So it is. Do you have anything else that's coming through for you? Because it's 10 o'clock. Our show is coming to an end. Is
Yep.
there anything else that's coming up for you for anybody? Like I never am one to like. I don't stick to a strict schedule. If we feel like we still need to talk, we'll still talk. But
Sure.
if there's anything else coming through, let's go with that. But if not, then we will give our final credits.
Let's see. Santiago. Let's see.
Why is Ashley saying Santiago Cirillo?
I don't know.
Or was that an old? Oh, Santi's. I know Santi's at work right now, but
no, I guess I don't know. I'm not really picking up on too much more, but
yeah, I'd say that the group here tonight, like there's a lot of piggybacking because they're very similar people and been through very similar stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to say I appreciate all you guys when I was getting my reading, all the hearts and the loves that was being sent to me. I pretty much like you guys. Sometimes I get through my day because Santi's on, but he's not saying he's. Oh, he is on. Santi is on. I guess they're asking if you haven't picked up anything for Santiago.
Oh,
but I get through my day sometimes when I'm able to do lives and talk to you guys and just be here. So this is, I appreciate it. So everybody's saying thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome, guys. Thank you. If anybody does want a reading from me, just hit me up. Let me know. We'll set something
That's what I was going to say. How can they, if they want a reading, how can they reach out to you? What is the best way to reach out to you?
They can reach me right on my Psychic Medium Christopher page, or they can message me on my Christopher J. Brown. That's kind of like the Facebook kind of official page or whatever. But either Psychic Medium Christopher or Christopher J. Brown, either one of those pages, I will respond to you and we can set something up.
Okay. Yes, and he is tagged in all of the posts that I've been put on tonight. So if you guys can go back there and you can see the tag, it's Psychic Medium Christopher. Yep. That is your, I guess, profile page, or is that your?
That's my. So my personal page is Christopher J. Brown, but my mediumship page is the Psychic Medium Christopher page.
Yes, Psychic Medium Christopher. So you can Psychic Medium, and if you don't know how to reach out to him, reach out to me. I will send you his way. Yes, please, like Ashley says, do it. Hit him up. Absolutely. I will, when I give you my thank you post, and in the show notes, for those of you that are listening to the podcast and not watching, check out in the show notes. The links to his pages will be in that. And then when I do my thank you, you guys will see his stuff on there. So I just want to say, Christopher, thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for doing this. I felt like this was meant to be. We are meant to connect. I can't wait to get to know you more and just have some more conversations. So
that'd be awesome.
Again, thank you for being on.
Yeah, thank you for having
everybody
me.
That's been in the comments.
Yes,
it has been. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Like I said, it's been really cool to meet you. Like I almost feel like I've known you for a long time.
Right? I'm feeling that too, and that's that energy. Like sometimes, spirit brings people together that are supposed to be brought together.
That's right. That's right.
But I definitely I really have felt drawn to you for a while now. So we're gonna talk more. We're gonna be good friends.
Absolutely,
good friends. So everybody that's been on here tonight that actually has commented, has shared the live, has been just liking and giving. I'm going to drag. Oh my God. I don't have my glasses on. See, they're over here. And when I just saw Ashley said, I'm going to drag him and his wife to PA. I thought it said something about a drag show. I'm sorry. I was like, what? He does drag?
What?
No, that would be cool. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But yes, I can't wait to meet you and your wife. And it is going to be just this beautiful spiritual connection. You know what I mean? Like, just like with Ashley and Jeff, just like with Debbie and Sadie, like a lot of people in here tonight, these are all people that I have met and I have spiritually connected to and been divine guided. So thank you all for being in the comments. I cannot do this podcast without you, the people in the comments, the people that are here watching, the people that are sharing, the people that are reacting, sending stars. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. So I appreciate you. Keep it up. Just to let you guys know, I did recently create a Facebook page for the podcast in general, but for 60 days, you cannot go live on Facebook until you're 60 days old. So after 60 days, I will still go live on this page, on my personal, or the Stacey Lee page. And then it's not going to go on the Rustic Spirit page anymore. It'll be on the podcast page. So please keep that like in mind, and I will keep reminding you guys. So go over there and give us a like on the Rustic, or the Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit Facebook page, so that way you can catch up on the lives. Take a deep breath. Everybody, please fill your cup first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And thank you again all for night. Chris, stick around through the closing credits. I just want to give you a thank you and goodbye after we go live. Sure. And we'll see you guys. Actually, we're doing this real quick. Thank you, Sadie, for putting it in there. There it is. Go over there and give us a follow. Next week, I have 2 podcasts. I have a special episode with Daryl Marston from Ghost Hunters and My Haunted Manor. So please tune in on Tuesday night and Thursday night next week. We have 2 podcasts next week. So I hope to see you guys all there. Have a wonderful evening. And thank you again for watching. Hey,